Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, and today I want to talk about how I came to find the meaning of my life. If I were to ask you what you want to do with your lives, you might give me different answers like travel the world, have a nice family, or help the poor. It's not a difficult question because we all have things we want to accomplish. But if I were to ask, do you know what the meaning of your life is? Can you answer right away? I didn't know how to answer this question before. I couldn't think of the one thing that would make my life enough, the one thing that would satisfy me. But luckily, I was able to find answer in Christianity. So I want to share my story with you. Ever since I can remember, I always thought that my identity was dependent on my achievement, whether or not I can reach the goals I set for myself, get good grades, get into grad school, have a stable job, and just live a comfortable life. Coming into college, I wanted to try many new things, accumulate different experiences, and build up my resume with leadership positions and extracurriculars. And that's what I did. I started to get involved in clubs and eventually got the internship that I wanted. I also got an on-campus job for a resume booster. Having a packed schedule made me feel productive, and I thought I was building up my life toward my goal. However, life hit me with its unpredictability. Just when I thought my life was going well, my stepmother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was not early stage. Our whole family was devastated. At that time, my little brother was only 6 months old, and my sister was 3. The possibility of not having their mother around led us to despair. As we were waiting for the final diagnosis and a treatment plan, I remember feeling so hopeless and scared. That was the darkest period of my life. Luckily, there was hope. She soon started her chemo treatment to prepare for her surgery, and she slowly recovered. Usually, this is where the turning point happens. Life seems so fragile, especially witnessing a loved one getting sick and death becoming so real. However, I was so absorbed in reaching my goals that I didn't even pause to think about the meaning of life or what happens after death. Instead, I continued to invest my time in different extracurriculars, sacrificing the time that I could spend with my family. I didn't know to love my family either. The depressing mood at home made me want to withdraw myself. I felt so powerless watching my stepmother go through so much pain because I didn't know to give her strength. Looking back, I realized how selfish I was. Even when my family was going through such a tough time, I only thought about what would make my life easier. Fast forward to the fall quarter of my junior year, all of a sudden, I felt like my life had gone terribly wrong. Even though it looked fine on the outside, I had everything that I needed. A job, a leadership position in a club. There was a huge void in my life that nothing could satisfy. And I was very lonely. All of my relationships were so shallow. There was no one that I could talk to or share my feelings with. That's why I started questioning what the meaning of life was. If none of the things that I was chasing after would actually satisfy me, then what was the point of living? Also, if we all return to nothingness after death, then why do our short lives on earth even matter? I decided to seek out Christianity for answers to my questions. At first, I was drawn to Christianity because of the people. I saw the relationship that Lily, my friend, and my roommate at the time had in Active Fellowship, the Christian club that we're part of now, and I wanted that too. I started studying Course 101, a course on basic Christianity that our church offers. The quote by C.S. Lewis from the book Mere Christianity really struck me. It goes like this: if I find in myself a desire which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. If none of my earthly pleasures satisfy it, that does not prove that the universe is a fraud. Probably earthly pleasures were never meant to satisfy it, but only to arouse it, to suggest the real thing. As I reflected on my life, the fact that I still felt so empty even after I got all the things I was chasing after, made me realize that there is a need inside me that no amount of achievements or new experiences can fill. I began to see that things of this world can only satisfy my physical needs, but not the spiritual needs of my soul. There is a passage in the Bible that also addresses this notion that we're more than just physical beings. It's the story of the rich fool found in Luke chapter 12. This man had a lot of crops, and back then, your crops were assets. Needless to say that he was pretty wealthy, so much that he needed to build bigger barns to store his crops. He secured enough materials for the rest of his life, and basically had his whole retirement plan all laid out. From the world's perspective, what he did was a wise thing. However, what he didn't know was that he was going to die that very night. Jesus called him a fool in this story because he invested all his time in accumulating wealth and failed to consider his soul. He did not take into account what would happen after he died. Like I mentioned before, one of the questions that I had was whether the earthly life that we are living is all there is. Because if we're merely physical beings, then this man is basically set for the rest of his life. But from the Christian perspective, our lives on earth are only a short period compared to eternity, and our souls continue to exist even after death. This passage revealed to me that no matter how much wealth and comfort I secure for myself, it won't matter at the end because I can't take anything with me when I die. The things that are worth investing in are things that will last for eternity, which include my relationship with God and my relationship with people. Now that I became a Christian, the relationship that I want to invest in include those with my own family. My heart is burdened for them because they don't know God, especially my dad, who's a strong atheist. Therefore, I've been trying to reach out to them and show them how my life has changed. Last week, they had the chance to attend our church virtual graduation, and I got to share a bit on how God has worked in my life these past 4 years. My dad was touched by my speech, and he later posted my graduation picture along with a Bible verse on his social media. I felt so much joy seeing that his heart has softened toward Christianity, and I know that this is the thing I want to live for. I want to encourage you to pause and think about what you really want in life. Is it money, success, comfort that will give you temporary happiness, or everlasting relationships, and the joy of knowing that you have the one thing that can change someone's life forever? I encourage you to take some time to ask these questions, like what you want to live for, and hopefully one day you can reach the same answer as I did. Thank you for listening, and now I'll hand it over to my friend Luis, who's going to share his story.